Welcome back to the workshop. Good evening. It is November. It's past daylight savings time, and despite being 6 o'clock, it is dark outside. I just wanted to do a quick update because I haven't posted anything for a while. I've had a few things going on, a couple of new additions, and I know I've talked about the E30 cab. I bought that with a friend. Haven't done much. We did get it registered, so that's California legal now. We just need to do a little bit of work on it. But the newest thing is right behind the camera. It was a car that I was not looking for. My son and I went in together on it, and if you would have asked me a few months ago, do you want one of these? I would have said, not really. But this was a car that we really bought the story on more than the car. And at first we thought we are going to do a bunch of mods to it, but now I think we're just going to do some subtle stuff, OEM plus sort of things, and kind of enjoy it for what it is. So I will spin the camera around and we'll show you what we got. But first, although you can see it, let's touch base on a couple of cars that I'm really enjoying. This is the E32 735, 1988, royal blue with ultramarine interior. I've done some cooling, basically cooling system refresh, the basic stuff, front suspension rebuild, and it is just such a nice car. Really, really nice. It could use more power. We'll see what ends up happening with that. I've got a few options. 750 IL, it's been sitting outside for a while. I've had a trans program issue, and sometimes it goes in the limp and just sticks in third gear, which is annoying. Of course, I've said many times I'd love to manual swap that. I don't know how realistic that is because those parts are really expensive. Maybe an 8 ZF 8 HP. I've seen a couple people starting to do those in those cars. That would be kind of fun too, or just something like a working transmission. But let's get to the newest one here. All right, so as you can see, this is a 1984 318i, 100 horsepower M10 single cam 4-cylinder. My son, Joe, who owns the detail shop, had a client who contacted him and said, hey, I've got a guy who's got kind of an interesting story and an interesting car that he wants to sell. This guy does consignment for Bring a Trailer. He's like, it's not the kind of car we would sell, but you might be interested in it, or at least you can give him some information or maybe list it for him on Cars and Bids and help him out. Guy comes, he is the original owner of this car. He was in the Army, so he's originally a little backstory, he was from Thailand, and he had told us, nicest guy in the world, he had told us his dream as a kid was to come to America and to have a red BMW. And he did that. And so he was in the Army in the 80s, and his tour was coming to an end in the winter of 1984, pre-Berlin Wall. Berlin Wall was still up. And before doing that, he ordered and took delivery of this 318i, Cinnabar red, tan cloth interior, 5-speed manual. He added the mud flaps. We've got the military plates that it had when he drove around Germany that are in the trunk, and the USA sticker. And it's just been his car forever. So 1984, so 41 years. Yeah, 41 years, yeah. This is the notebook of every single thing he's ever done to it, from gas to service to the note in 1990 when he broke 100,000 miles driving down Ignacio Valley Road by John Muir Hospital at 12:15 a.m. coming back from work. He was a cop after he came back to the U.S. after the Army for Oakland PD. And he and his wife they basically drove it all over. It's got 230,000 miles on it. It drives really very well. It needs a little bit of maintenance. Because the last few years it hasn't been driven a lot, which is why he's finally decided it's time to let go of it. If we look at his gas log, let's get to current day here. 2025, okay. October 2nd, he put 11 gallons of gas in it. That was the last time he's gassed it up. It's got about 3/4 of a tank in it still. Prior to that, June 27th, 8 gallons. Prior to that, January of 2025, 5.6 gallons. So he's gotten gas 3 times this year, and has put about 25 gallons in it overall. He's been tracking his mileage too, and he's noted the gas mileage has been reduced a little bit these past couple of years, so he's a little bit worried. So the plan is, at first we thought the 318 is going to be gutless, and actually around town it's peppy. It's got a lot of gear. It's got a lot of gearing. It's a manual. It weighs 2,600 pounds. Doesn't feel underpowered around town. And I'm sure if we were to get it up on the highway and try to hit triple digits, it would take a while. Although it's done it when it was in Germany. All original paint, super clean Carfax. It's never had paint work or body work or anything. It's got a lot of door dings, but and the paint is, it needs some polishing for sure. But it's original, and some of the things like this USA sticker are definitely going to stay on there. It's got the German tourist delivery plate frame still. Um, so the plan originally, we thought, well, I've got a couple of M30s we could put in. An M30 swap would be kind of cool, but after driving it, that would really just throw the balance off. So maybe we build an M42 for it, keep it 4-cylinder. Probably just going to keep it as is for a while and just do maintenance, do some suspension work. I'd love to put the metal Euro bumpers on it just to get rid of the big bumpers. Maybe some basket weaves, maybe some Alpina type wheels. Driver seat's kind of beat up, so it could use some sport seats. Dash doesn't have cracks. It's got an aftermarket radio that's pretty ugly. It's got the original radio delete panel in the glove box from when the car was new and was delivered without a radio, which is kind of cool. Um, tonight's project, over the weekend, we brought it here. The AC didn't work, and his mechanic said it probably needs a compressor. So I put my AC tools on. We drew a vacuum on it, and it has held 26 inches of vacuum since Sunday, and today is Tuesday night. So I got a cans of 134 because it was converted to 134, and I'm going to put some Freon in it, or 134, and we'll see if the AC compressor kicks on once it's got a little bit of pressure in there. So we'll do that in a minute here. But let me do a quick walk around, and then we'll see what we can do with the AC. And I'm going to add the AC work to this notebook because this is going to continue on with this car. So, just your basic 318i, sunroof, sunshade, probably get rid of that. Mud flaps will definitely stay. It's interesting looking at the ride hat. Look how tall these things were when they were stock. You don't see a stock E30. The regular steering wheel, no cracks in the dash. Cloth seats, driver's seat is a little beat up. It looks worse on camera than real life, but it is kind of beat up. Passenger seat's okay. Back seats are, as you would expect, near perfect. Headliner's good. And just a bunch of stuff that he gave with us, or what gave us with the car. Warning triangle, first aid kit. He says neither of those have ever been used. The spare tire's never been used. Of course, it's got a full toolkit. Pop-out windows, which are really, really neat. So let's pop the hood open. We'll hook up the AC stuff and see what happens. All right, so we're all hooked up. 26 inches of vacuum still. Funny side note. This has happened, but not for years. But you always hear the story of going to AutoZone or whatever, and you want like something random, and they say your make and model. So they don't have the AC stuff out because it's November. So I go to the counter and I say I need to get 2 cans of our 134A refrigerant. And the guy looks at me, and I'm like, the stuff for the air conditioning. He's like, your make and model. I'm like, no, you don't want that because it's an 84 car that was R12. And it's been converted to 134. I want 2 cans of our 134A, and I've got just the regular cans, not the stuff with the nozzle or any of that. He comes back with R123YF or something like that. I'm like, no, I need R134A. 134 comes back. It's like, the only one I have is this 1 can of AC Pro. Okay, well, that's fine. So let's see. See what happens here. So far, nothing. Okay, we've penetrated the can. Maybe this is not on. Let's try this side. Strange. Nothing seems to be flowing. So it shows it should hold 1,100 grams of R12. When you're switching to 134, you usually do like 80%. So somewhere around 800, 850 grams. This can. Do not know why it's not flowing though. Okay, well, let's hold on for a minute and figure this out. All right, attempt 2. That first can made a mess. The stuff that was coming out of it was foamy. I'm not really sure what it was. It wasn't feeling very cold either, so I'm glad I didn't pump it into this car. So I did have one old can of 134 that I bought from a past time I needed air conditioning work, and this one is flowing. So that was a waste of $34 unless I could bring it back to AutoZone, and I'm sure they're going to say can't bring it back because you've used what was in the can. Mainly, I want to see if the AC compressor kicks on once there's some pressure in here. So this is how much. Interesting. This has 12 ounces, and that big can said it was 10.8. So there must have been something else in there, like maybe sealant or something. So I'm kind of glad it didn't go in. So 340 grams. So this is going to be less than half of a full charge. But that might be enough to give pressure to the system to get the compressor to kick on, assuming the compressor is good, which we really don't know yet. The other thing we have is the original key pouch from Germany when the car was delivered to the original owner. This has got us to about 50 pounds per square inch right now. I'm going to turn the car on and we'll see if, make sure the high side is closed, see if the compressor starts up. I don't know if you can hear that with the car running through my mic, but the compressor kicked on. Now let's continue. We're down to about, low side's about 5 pounds, high side's about 50. Open this up and it'll start pulling in the gas again. So I'm going to need another can of this. We got cold air coming out of the vents. So we're right now at about 22 pounds on the low side, or 22 psi, and about 70 on the high side. So we definitely need another can of this, but we've got enough 134 in the system. See if we can get anything else out of this can. It feels empty, but we got enough in the system where we're getting cold air, enough pressure so the compressor is running. I assume it's going to hold the pressure because it held vacuum for 48 hours. But that's a good success there. So there you go. This is going to have AC. Joe's going to polish out the paint. We're trying to decide on some other things. I've got a set of Dynon springs from an older E30 that we had years ago, but they're for a 325, and I don't know if that'll work on a 318. I assume front end's lighter, so we don't need as much spring rate. But some springs. It's got relatively recent Bilsteins on it. Make a little back road car out of it. So that will be it for this one. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.